But I have to brag before we talk about the act. Now, I did not think that the Raiders were going to win the game outright, but I did think they were going to keep it close. And we had Ken Thompson on Friday, or Thursday, and I said, I love the Raiders to beat the spread. I think this is going to be a close game, and the reason why me and Ken agreed and we thought that way is, for starters, Kansas City's defense not as good as it's been in years past. Their defense is not very good. They're not. And the Raiders are starting to get healthy again. Remember, they've had some injuries. They've been roughed up the last few weeks, but starting to get healthy. And I have to give credit where credit is due. Carr was fantastic. He threw for 3 touchdowns. What about the Raiders' defense? I think we have to talk about that. When you hold the Chiefs to only 8 points in the second half on the road, that is something to be very proud of. I don't care what the circumstances are. The Raiders proved to me that defensively, when they are healthy and they are capable, to be able to stop Pat Mahomes the way they did in that potent Chiefs offense, in the second half, in the third quarter, they held them to 0 points. In the fourth quarter, they held them to 8 points. They made the stops when they needed to make the stops. I thought that was an unbelievable second half by the Raiders. And perhaps you could make the argument the best half of football the Raiders have played in years. How many teams are able to go into Arrowhead and win like the way the Raiders did? Let me tell you something. Nobody, and I mean nobody, expected them to win that game outright. Yes, I thought it was going to be close. I did not think the Raiders were going to win that football game. If you told me the score was 40-32 Chiefs, I would have said, yeah, that's probably about where I thought it was going to be. Raiders keep it close. But the fact that they went in there and defeated the Chiefs, first of all, it's bad for the Chiefs because now anybody believes they can beat the Chiefs on the road. And that's exactly what the Raiders did. So I give them a ton of credit.
That's exactly right.
Thank you, Mr. McCloskey. I give them a ton of credit. So now the Raiders are 3-2. I think when a lot of people looked at this game on the schedule, they automatically assume, no, that's not a game that the Raiders are going to get. They're not going to win that one. I think when the Raiders took the field, that and Carr said this in the days leading up to it, that, listen, we're not going in here to keep a game close. We're going in here to win a football game. That's exactly what they did. So congratulations to the Raiders and what they were able to accomplish. JD, what did you think about the game? Did you watch the game on Sunday?
Yeah, I watched the game. And Brian, that spread dropped from 13 down to 10 on Sunday.
So the books lost a lot of money.
So there was a lot of money on the Raiders. Yeah, the line moved quite a bit. I thought that once Henry Ruggs was playing, the Chiefs' corners are very, very slow. You have Charvarius Ward, you've got Brashad Breeland. Both those guys ran 4.55s. Henry Ruggs ran a 4.27 at the NFL Combine. Aguilar's a burner.
So for people that don't know what you're talking about, explain what that means.
So you run the 40-yard dash. If you're a cornerback, you run the 40-yard dash to NFL Combine. And, I mean, typically a first-round cornerback is going to run, like Damon Arnett, who the Raiders drafted this year. I think he ran a 4.48. You want to run at least a 4.45, a little lower than a 4.45. So if your corners don't run 4.5s or better, the chance of you getting beat like Henry Ruggs beat the Chiefs secondary twice is very, very likely. And the Chiefs cornerbacks are big and slow. And against a team like the Raiders with a weapon like Henry Ruggs, he's going to, if they can get the ball to Waller a couple of times and Jacobs is running well, then he's going to have some openings down the middle of the field. And that's exactly what happened in that game. But it wasn't just Ruggs, it was also Nelson Aguilar, which surprised me. And he's actually played pretty well since becoming a Raider. But, yeah, the fact that the D played as well as they did was the big shocker because the Raiders' cornerbacks have been hurt. And Trayvon Mullen played well. The line played well. The linebackers played. When the Raiders they do have some speed at linebacker with Kwiatkowski and Corey Littleton, and those guys can handle Travis Kelce over the middle. I mean, the Chiefs, to me, offensively, are one of the best.
But Mahomes was uncomfortable in the second half. He never looked comfortable.
He was. I agree.
Yeah.
The Chiefs, to me, are still the favorite in the AFC. I think that offense, when it's on all cylinders, especially with adding Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I think they're going to be tough for anybody to beat. But a team like the Bills, a team with a deep threat, even a team like the Cleveland Browns with Odell Beckham Jr., I mean, they're 4-1. I think the AFC is a little more open than originally anticipated a couple weeks ago, and that was obviously a massive win for the Raiders. But I was not surprised that Henry Ruggs was able to get open deep because the Chiefs secondary just is not very fast.
I think people need to start taking my picks when it comes to the Raiders. I'm 5-0 now, so I have to brag a little bit about that.
Yeah, feel free, man. Feel free.
But